So welcome back to the Dadskillz car channel. You find me again in Freddy, and in this week's video we're going to be fitting some rally lights, or spotlights, or I think the proper term for them is auxiliary driving lights. Apparently there's no such thing as spotlights. So that means we're going to be making a bracket, we're going to be doing all the wiring and all the rest of it. Now the reason I want some rally lights is potentially I've got a scatter rally coming up. Now if you don't know what a scatter rally is, I shall link a video in the description below where Charlie goes off with his girlfriend, filmed for Motorsport UK, and it tells you all about it and what it is, and it's just a nice introduction. I've only ever done one once and it was really good. Took my daughter with me. She got the map reading really quickly, like crazy quick. Which was fantastic, and we ended up coming 5th overall, and we were first out of the beginners, so it was brilliant. So hopefully if we can get to do that again, we've got a bit of a head start now, we've got some semblance of what we're doing. So that's what I want the rally lights for, really, because we'll start at probably 7:30, 8 o'clock. Normally it's on pretty empty roads, back roads, so it'd be nice to have a bit more light so we can see what we're doing. I will warn you now, the lights I bought, they were the cheapest I could get, but we've got all the bracket and the wiring and all that sort of stuff. So at some point, if we want some more expensive ones, like some nice civvies or Hella or something like that, then we can upgrade, no problem. But I just wanted to get these working, and see what the crack is. See if we can do a nice job as well. So let's have a look. Ah! So the first thing we're going to need is somewhere decent to attach them to. Now if we just take a little look back, this thing is on its last legs. It's only got one leg left. The other one has snapped off. But we do have some nice space underneath that we can get the brackets to come through. We're going to have to do something about this little step. So we've got the actual bumper skin, if you like, there that we're going to have to get over. And then we're going to, I reckon this here is going to be easy strong enough. And I reckon I've found a place where I can get some bolts in around here. And the same the other side. So let's get them in first. When we get our actual bracket made and put on, we'll then be able to put a washer on, put a nut on top, and then all we'll have to do to take them off and on is just 2 nuts and then some wiring we can clip and unclip. Cool, next bit. Right, now it's just a question of mocking something up that we can then recreate in our chosen medium. So what we're going to use, well, some time ago I picked up a job lot of this aluminium for 100 quid, and I've got big sheet somewhere. One of these is 5mm, one of these is 3mm, this is the 5mm I think. So that's going to make an ideal sump guard. And then that sheet there with the folded edges, I had 2 more like that were full sheets. So I resold them and got 70 quid for them. So all this has cost me 30 quid. And this is the edge I'm thinking about making the bracket for the lights. So let's get it marked out and cut out. Oh, his little face. Bracket on, blah blah blah, and we actually had an innovation in the filming department. I've gone POV. I've got this chest mount thing, so we'll see. That means I can use 2 hands. It's like being in a video game. Now the next thing is we're going to take it off, and we're going to start having a extending the wiring, and I think we're going to end up over this side somewhere, aren't we? I've drilled a couple of holes each side, nice and symmetrical. The reason for that will become clear in a moment. First thing I want to do is extend these. I don't want to be putting connections here and then them being outside the car. They could get wet, blah, blah, blah. Now, I seem to remember, please tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong, I seem to remember black for some reason being positive. As counterintuitive as that sounds, I'm sure that's positive, but I don't think it matters on a resistive circuit. That's all a light is, isn't it? It's just a resistor that glows. Oh, there we go. So I know certainly in domestic wiring, not that this is anything like that at all. It doesn't really matter which way around you put the light bulb in. So I'm going on the same premise on this. So I'm just going to extend these, and I'm actually going to convert it to colours that I understand. So red will be positive, and black will be the ground. I'll just burn that off in a moment. I'll do the same this side. Doesn't burn off quite like you think it would. Maybe it's meant to be like that. It was me thinking we were going to do the fantastic job. I think it will look really good in the end though. So let's not judge too early. Right, we have loads of cable there. Loads of cable there. Right, cool, okay. Now for this job we are going to use solder sticks. It's going to have to be red, isn't it, I think? See that? No. Oh yeah. Right, they've crossed paths. It is red. You see that in there? Right, that is just melting that now. Yes, that's very cool. You get the gist. I shall do that to all of them, and then we shall come back and see what we got.
That's those done. They're pretty tidy, aren't they? If you were being hypercritical, and I'm sure some people will be, you say, oh, that solder isn't melted. Well, I'm going to say enough is. And in that one, that I'm sure will be fine. So the next thing we're going to do, we have some of this flexible conduit. That we're going to put something like that, and then that will run to like here somewhere. So we are through with that one. To give it something like that, I think. Right, candid way, there we go. Right, okay, that's very cool. So the next thing we want to do is amalgamate them into one piece of flexi, I think. Right, let's see how much we can get that to shrink. She's shrinking. It's a big old bit to make up there, though. Ooh. May have to put some insulation tape around this in the end. Right, we might just give it another little heat there, but it was starting to bubble up. Like, we might just give it one more go, but that has held it all together. And now we just need to put this in some sort of plug. We have a load of these connectors that luckily I saw on Amazon the other day after I was asking someone, where do I get this sort of thing from? And they were dead cheap. So whether that means they're any good or not, I don't know. Got some more heat shrink. And then we need to put that on there somewhere. Something like that. I've never done these ones before, so not quite sure how it's going to go. Something like that, maybe. No. Was that any good? I was holding it. Just about. Right, I think that's got it. Might even put a bit of solder on it, I think. So, I ended up soldering them. If you can see those, I reckon they're quite a decent connection there. So, in this end, there are actually rubber bungs that you can sleeve. And then they sit up the end, but we're going to put a heat shrink on, so... Ooh, will it go in? Yes, it will. Okay, so now I've got it. So you have to push it until you can see those pins protruding there. Can you see those? So now we can put the heat shrink on, and hopefully they will stay there. The new latest storer is well worth watching of.
What
storer?
Oh, storer.
Yeah.
Oh, what, the one where they go down the...
Water chute thing?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And watch it, yeah. I was going to, but it was bad.
It looked well scary. Sasha came out with his nose all bloody. But I think that is in like the members only bit. But you see him come out the other end anyway. What, that same place?
No, but at different ones.
Yeah?
There's one place where if you lift up the vent,
Yeah.
there's just like this, like maybe this thick.
Yeah.
With water just flowing down it, and people just go down it because there's like a slide. It's not very like rapid, but you go like pretty fast, like average. You know, you can stop pretty easily.
That is scary, brother.
Lovely.
Hello, you too.
You okay?
Okay, how does that look? That's pretty cool. It's certainly waterproof anyway. Yeah, nice. Back on the car, and it's worked really well, I think. Hopefully. And then this can wend its way around there, and we come out there. Now it'd be nice to know if it actually worked, or else we're going to have to unpick everything. So I've made a lead. We'll plug it in there. And I'll put you on the floor. I'll do that in a minute. Put you on the floor and we'll see if it works or not. Oh yes. Excellent. That's cool. Right, on to the next bit. Ah! So I was looking around on the forums the other day, trying to get a basic sort of grasp of what we're going to do. And someone recommended this. And I went on eBay, and someone was selling one that they'd not used for $7.99. So I don't think I could assemble all these bits for $7.99, so that's really good. So we've got all sorts of pre-wired plugs and a fuse and all sorts of stuff on the relay. And then we've got the switch we won't use because obviously I'm hoping to have these on high beam. But the Scotch lock we might, I hate Scotch locks, but splicing into that main beam, high beam cable, it may just be the easiest thing to do. And then we have some instructions, so that's cool. Right, I'm going to try and digest that and then get back to you. Just to update you where we are. So I think I've got a place for the relay to go. That'll sit down there quite nice. And then we've got a ground wire, makes its way around there, which will go to there. That will be joined by the ground from the actual lights, which is there. So this is the live. This is the switched live, if you like. Going to the actual lights, that one. Something like that. Who remembers which one goes where? I can't. Let's have a look. Relays in, all the wires connected up to that. This side we have that to connect to the positive on the battery. We have this to splice in somewhere to the high beam jobby. And then here, I found a decent place for our two grounds to come. Joined them together, that will go there. Alright, let me show you how I figured out which one it was. So I've actually wired the whole thing in. You can see we've got the ground on, we've got the live on, we need to fix that relay there somewhere. So I unplugged the headlight and I turned the headlights on. I then touch this through every connection in that little connector there to see which one turned the lights on. So I touched every connection in there, and these two lit the spots up with just the headlights on. I turned the main beam on, and now this one turned those lights on. So that's our main beam, number one. We have the relay fastened back with a fuse next to it. That's all our wiring, looks pretty good. And I hope you can't see down there, but I'll put a Scotch lock on it. Don't hate me.